is a weekend dim. But don't go searching for a mermaid, son, if you don't know how to swim. As her hair was green with seaweed, her skin was blue and pale.
Hey!
Oh, so good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thanks so much for coming.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Man, we're gonna have a good time.
I'm looking forward to this.
Man, thanks so much for coming by and appreciate you.
Thanks for
appreciate
having me.
you, supporting my channel. So you see I'm wearing Landloch'd gear.
You are. We appreciate your support over all the years.
Oh,
it means a lot to us.
Well, and for those of you that don't know, Landloch'd is a two-man band that features Ed and our good friend Steve, and they are one of my favorite acts at the Georgia Renaissance Festival, which opens April 15th. And then also, you frequent Shenanigans in Dahlonega.
Yeah, we get up in the mountains, play a lot up there. It's one of our favorite spots too.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I've only actually caught you once at Shenanigans, but we'll have to change that.
Yes.
And also, Landloch'd is the band that plays the song that this video started with. So, now Ed, I've known you a handful of years at this point, and I've seen you transform yourself over time. So tell us about your fitness story.
So it's been a long journey. It started years ago, just trying to lose weight, stay in shape, and not really knowing what I was doing. And about 4 years ago, I guess, kind of before the pandemic really got into full swing, I found some good training that really focused me and helped me understand what I was doing, why I was doing it, and if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And people who get into the gym and don't know what they're doing don't see results.
Yes, it's almost like having being your own personal trainer is what it feels like when I have a workout plan and put that together, and it has already helped.
It does.
So what you said that you found a workout plan. Where did you? Was it an influencer that you followed? Or?
It's a guy on YouTube named Jeff Cavaliere. He runs the Athlete Next program. Jeff, he's a social media influencer, let's be honest about that, but he's also a licensed physical therapist, and he used to be a trainer for the New York Mets. So,
wow.
With those qualifications, I saw a couple of his videos that do a straight push-pull legs split. Okay. And some days I've been going in, I've been focusing on chest, I've been focusing on arms, focusing on back, then maybe legs if I felt like it.
Right.
But I looked at his plan and said, that's a really good idea. That's what I'm going to go with. And dialed it in, got my set of exercises just lined up. This is what you do every day.
Yes, that's awesome. And so do you ever kind of change it up, because, they say that, your body gets used to doing the same things.
Yeah, and it definitely does. So I will change it up a little bit. I'll throw a different exercise in here and there, or I'll switch from, the program is pretty much high weights and low reps. Every now and then I'll drop the weight by 25-30% and go higher reps just to
that's a
get
good idea.
A little bit more of a burn and feel it differently.
Yeah.
Just so your body's not getting used to the same thing over and over again.
I like that idea of dropping weight on the occasion. Maybe, I don't know how often that should happen though.
I do it maybe once every 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay.
It's not a consistent thing.
Okay.
It's just usually it's a day when I'm not feeling that great. I'm like, God, that looks really heavy today. I'm going to drop that.
Yes. Oh yeah. I guess we call those kind of maintenance days, right?
Yes,
when
exactly.
you're not going to build any new muscle, but you're going to maintain
what you got.
Yep, that's right.
Yep.
So what is your favorite exercise, if you have one?
Yeah, I've got a couple. I like deadlifts. I just like moving that much weight through the space. It's probably my best lift, and just being able to get in there, and even if it's just one heavy rep, just get up. Move a lot of weight. Just feels really good that you're able to.
Yeah, and I haven't been doing deadlifts, and I'll just be honest. It's because every time I do it, my lower back hurts, and I'm thinking I'm just doing a poor form.
I did that about 4 months ago. I had bad form. I was trying to get through a heavy rep, and I tweaked something and had to lay out of them for a few weeks while that got better. days.
Yeah, I've made a big mistake before doing. Well, I guess I was just going against the natural motion of my shoulder. But yeah, I tweaked something in my shoulder, and then I couldn't do shoulders for a couple of months. So yeah,
Very light. Make sure your form is dialed in, and the weight will get there.
that's a really good call. Okay, so tell me about your least favorite exercise.
Can I just say leg day?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, nobody likes leg day. I think Bulgarian split squats are probably my absolute least favorite.
I really hate those too. And I'll do them, but they're not currently in my workout plan, and there's a reason for that.
I started doing them. I really don't like them, but the way they burn, they're doing some good.
Yeah,
So.
and I'll say, that's probably why I don't like leg day. Just the fact that it is exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much, if you're not using a machine, you're using your whole body.
Yeah, people think of squats as a leg exercise. You're holding that bar, you're stabilizing it. That's all your upper body. You got to keep your core tight.
Yeah.
So yeah, everything is getting worked in a squat.
It does.
You're absolutely gassed by the end of it.
Same here. And as much as we hate it, though, it's so beneficial. So it's like, yes, it's miserable, but you've burned extra calories and worked extra muscles. So yeah, it's a necessary evil. I'm afraid we're never going to escape it.
Got to put in the work.
Yeah, that's right. And now I'll tell you, I'm glad that I have my workout plan now because I know that if I'm going to make any progress on these legs, and it is very difficult, I've not really progressed my legs as much as I would like to have. I'm going to have to do two a week. Okay, so we talked about training, but I will say probably the biggest challenge to me is diet. I think that keeping ourselves in check with cravings and stuff like that is one thing. Being able to go out to eat and enjoy, holidays and parties and Renaissance festivals and and just essentially, having everything, pre-prepped and whatnot. I mean, it's just the biggest challenge. No one's perfect, but when you're really focused in on your diet, what do you do to keep yourself on track?
Yeah, diet and nutrition is definitely a big thing. One of my favorite sayings is you can't outrun your fork.
Oh,
so
I like that.
The nutrition piece, people say it's 60 to 80% of the entire fitness thing.
Yes.
And to answer your question specifically, I don't really count macros anymore. I try to stay under a certain calorie goal. But one of the things that was hardest for me to get past is that if you're trying to put on muscle, you need to eat more calories than you think you do.
Yes.
And sticking with that, it's got to be good calories too, obviously, which is where I try to keep most of my meal plan: lean proteins, a lot of green vegetables, fruits, and stay away from the bad carbs.
Yeah.
And that's probably just everybody's internal chemistry is different. True. And if I'm on a diet or not on a diet and I'm eating a lot of bread, potatoes, white rice, the weight just piles on. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I can tell when I cut that out within the first week, probably a lot of water weight falling off.
True.
But I can tell the scale is still dropping and I'm feeling better. That stuff's not weighing me down quite so heavy.
Yes.
So keeping that nutrition in mind. And like you said, nobody's perfect. Everybody's going to have bad days. We're going to have some bad weekends coming up.
Yeah, we are.
But as long as every day isn't like that.
Right.
And when you're out there and you're having fun and you're enjoying yourself, just every now and then you got to keep in the back of your head, hey, let's do this in moderation.
Yes, that's really the challenge, especially, to be honest, like my biggest Achilles heel is, alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I'm doing it all the time, but, as in our group of friends that we have, there's a lot of gatherings, a lot of parties, and alcohol tends to be in the center of that. And, so, that's something that really sets you back, I mean, there's so many things about alcohol specifically that's problematic. Like for one, alcohol hinders your ability to absorb nutrition. Mm-hmm. So there's that, and really it exhausts you and
it really does.
dehydrates you. So like you're not going to want to train the next day, or at least for me. So yeah, that's something that definitely needs to be held in moderation. You know,
Yeah.
on top of, oh, and then another thing is that alcohol really makes it difficult to eat healthy. You know,
Yes.
you crave all that salt and the sugar and everything.
I mean, everybody's in our group has been there. End of the night, you've had a few drinks, and the stuff in the food in the bar menu is looking really good.
Yeah, it is. And you're like, I don't care. I'm eating French fries.
Exactly. We're stopping at Waffle House on the way home.
There you go, Waffle House. Yeah, that's a classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, actually, Ryan and I were talking just the other day about, you know, whether it's better to write down every little thing that you eat, you know, and track. I actually have a spreadsheet where I kind of put together my diet plan, and then I will use an app to, you know, kind of help me track what I have and haven't eaten that day. But you know, it can really kind of wear you out and make you burn out.
The problem I have found with that, and this is probably just my mentality, is that if I don't stick to that, and if I fall short somewhere,
Beat yourself up.
I'm off the edge of the cliff. Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
this is never going to work. I'm a failure at this. I can't stick to a plan for a day. You know, why even bother? Which is why I've gotten away from hardcore tracking of macros and calories, and just focusing on eating good stuff. Which, if it's good stuff, having a little bit more isn't necessarily a bad thing. You know, having extra broccoli with supper is not
No, that's true.
is not going to ruin anything.
Yes, you know, and I feel that way, but I struggle. I haven't made up my mind to just, you know, stop counting, just because I like the certainty of knowing that I can be successful. Because, you know, if you do follow it really closely or track really closely, then it becomes more of an exact science almost, you know. But I do the same thing you're mentioning, where, you know, I'll feel really defeated, and I won't give up or anything, but, you know, I don't like having that monkey on my back of just like, oh, darn it,
It's
I did
that
it.
middle hole, and it's hard to climb out sometimes.
Yeah, but, you know, but you're right, you know, if you eat healthy like 80% of the time, and then you allow yourself, you just got to give yourself permission for 20% of, you know, maybe bad eating, then you're going to be fine, and especially if you're training, you know. But one other thing, aside from just like gaining too much weight, I have a very difficult time gaining muscle. You know, it's a big challenge for those of us that are older, especially women, I guess. Yeah, it's difficult for me to gain muscle. It's getting difficult for me to keep it. So I really kind of need to track just for the sole purpose of eating enough protein.
Yes.
And I will admit to you and to you guys that I am not eating enough protein, and really that's kind of why I've been a little bit stagnant in my growth.
That was one of the hardest things I had to overcome too, was figuring out exactly how much protein I'm taking in.
Yeah.
And bumping that up to help get that muscle growth. You know, I think the general rule of thumb is 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, something like that.
Yeah.
And you look at how much protein that is. It's a lot of protein.
I do find that pre-prepping my food for the week, and I don't necessarily get it done every week, but I'm trying to get better about that, and making Sunday my pre-prep day. It's so much easier to eat healthy if you have something readily available, and also I try not to buy temptation food and keep it around, you know.
Yeah, if it's not in the house, you can't eat it.
That's right.
And pre-prepping makes it so much easier. You don't have to think about it. It's portioned out, ready to go. Grab it out of the fridge, throw it in the oven or even in the microwave, and there.
There you go.
We're all so busy that not having to think and take the time at the end of the day to try and figure out what you're going to cook.
That's right.
Really helps.
It really does. So, since you've adopted this healthier lifestyle, can you say that it has helped you with endurance when performing at the Renaissance Festival, or you know, I guess any place that you perform?
Yeah, out at fair, we're on our feet a lot. You know, we meet at 9:30 in the morning, and I'll be lucky if I sit down at all between then and 6:30, 7 o'clock in the evening.
Man, I bet.
Yeah, being able to stay on your feet and moving is a challenge for a lot of people.
I bet.
And
I never thought about the fact that you guys don't sit down.
Yeah, we don't. We really don't. But yeah, one of the things that I used to do a few years ago, my wife and I were training for a marathon.
Oh, cool.
And we did that in 2020. And all that walking really gets you ready for being out at fair.
Oh, I bet.
The other problem is standing. You know, number one, we're standing on stage and performing. The other one is you're just on an uneven surface out there. So I'll finish up the first day, the first weekend, and my legs will be so sore, but it's not the big muscles. It's all those little stabilizing muscles that you never really think about until you're trying to find your footing on gravel or on a hillside.
Interesting. Yeah.
But yeah, even after I'm going into my 13th season now, and
wow, 13 seasons.
I know.
That's crazy.
Never thought I'd get that far. But yeah, I'm still sore at the end of the day. But being in a fitness plan has definitely helped not fall out a few times.
Man, I bet, yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear that. And I figured, also having lost, extra body weight probably makes you less hot, I guess, because it's really warm out.
It's hot out there. Yeah, it helps a little bit. The garb helps. I don't wear a whole lot of heavy stuff like some people do. So yeah, and if you're in 95-degree sun, it's hot no matter what.
Yeah, it's hot.
Right. The key out there really is staying hydrated. You know that as well as anybody. If you don't drink enough water out there, you're going to be in trouble.
Oh yeah.
So
I really got to hand it to you guys that are out there all weekend, every weekend of the Renaissance Festival. I mean, it's it can be grueling. I usually just do probably 3 days a season, but my goodness.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a grind, and you got to be mentally prepared for it as well as physically.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we're glad you do it because we really enjoy Landloch'd. It's been one of my longtime favorites.
I appreciate that. We enjoy it too.
Good. So, what are your fitness goals moving forward? Do you have any set goals that you're trying to reach, or?
Everybody says they want to look better, they want to lose weight. Those goals being just generic and non-specific really don't help anybody. You got to have a target that you're going for. So
I like it.
Yeah, the goal for me really is to build muscle, and I do that with saying, okay, I want to hit certain numbers on certain lifts. I want to stack up 4 plates on each side of that bar and deadlift. That's 405 pounds. I want to squat 315. Bench 250, whatever it is. So just hitting those numbers that you're going for. Those are the goals. We did that marathon a few years ago. Check that one off the list. I ran a 10K in under an hour last year. That was another goal.
Man.
So now I'm working on hitting those target numbers in the weight room.
Awesome, yeah. And so you mentioned that you have a gym at your house.
Yeah.
So you work out at home?
Work out at home, yeah.
Okay, well, what kind of equipment do you have?
Not a ton. It's only a 1-car garage. It's half the size of this, so I don't have a whole lot of space. But we've got a half rack, a half squat rack with pull-up attachments, 45-pound Olympic bar.
Nice.
I've been adding plates over the past 3 years, so we've got a ton of plates in there now.
Awesome.
And same with dumbbells. Been adding heavier and heavier dumbbells as I'm able to lift a little more. So we've got a full rack at this point, which is nice. We've got a rolling machine for some cardio work. Got a box for some box jumps, which is another thing I don't like because my ceiling in there is kind of low, so I'm always afraid I'm going to knock myself out. And then we've got the combat station for my wife. She's got a speed bag. She's got a heavy bag.
Oh, nice.
That's one of her favorite things to do is get in there and hit things so she doesn't have to hit me.
Hilarious. Yeah. I don't use mine often enough, but I'm planning to start doing that a little more often.
Mm-hmm.
And you've seen around, I've got a few kicking targets now, and I'm gonna probably not do that a ton, just because I know that my hips are not what they used to be, my hip joints.
Yeah, my wife started Krav Maga a few years ago, and she really enjoyed that. And being able to come in and do that at home and practice her striking and her kicking and is a huge benefit.
Yeah, and I mean, none of us really want to be in a fight, but it is kind of nice to build those muscles and have basically the muscle memory to inform to be able to strike if you had to.
Yeah. Defend yourself as appropriate.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And Krav Maga, I mean, that's very helpful, for a woman, for anyone, but for a woman, if you were ever in a situation where someone was wrestling with you and you could escape. I mean, 'cause we did a little bit of that when I was training at Drogies ATA in Marietta. And it, they gave me a few little tips for, basically escaping, if you needed to. So anyway, super beneficial.
That's one thing my wife really enjoyed. The first night she came home and told me what she had learned that day. She said, "Okay, try and grab me." I was like, "I'm not sure I want to do that."
Yeah. Sounds like you have a great gym going. I know those plates are difficult to, they became expensive.
They were, they were
COVID.
hard. Everything was hard to find during COVID. Everybody snapped it up real quick when the big box gyms closed down and everybody had to start training it.
What you mean? Believe me. So I would love to show you around the body shop.
Absolutely. Let's take a look. Sure.
All right, cool. This is one of my first purchases, this Pacific Fitness Xuma. But my only complaint is that the cables weren't very long. So I bought this chain extension and also got a bar that has a swivel because it didn't have the bars didn't have a swivel.
Yeah,
so
those are nice.
Yeah, I didn't appreciate how helpful that was until I didn't have it.
Yeah.
And also I was missing these from using the rope at the gym.
Yeah.
But now that I have this, I feel like I've got and I feel almost complete here.
Yeah, those are good.
Well, it took me a while to kind of figure out what this was, but I think it is for hamstring
I'd say
curls.
it's a hamstring, and you can turn around the other way and get your fluid knee lift as well.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm gonna check that out. So just kind of down here and.
Yep. Bring it up.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I feel that. In my quads. Well, this is something I'm really excited about. This Olewan Olympic barbell. I hear it's got a 700 max weight, but I don't think I'll ever have to worry about that.
I don't think I'll be there either.
Well, I love it so much for a couple of reasons. For one, look how awesome it is.
Yeah,
it's actually so cool and pretty that I've been hesitant to put plates on it.
Nice smooth surface. You don't want to mess anything up.
I know. I want to keep it pretty and nice, but I can't. I'm going to have to break it in.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's awesome. And also, before Ryan bought this for me, I was using a rusty barbell, and actually it was fine. It's it still had plenty of integrity. It just needed to be probably got all the rust buffed out. So I'm going to sell that. But and also we've got a couple of other barbells for sale, but this one is mine.
That one's yours.
And I love it.
Yeah.
Just look at this thing.
I know.
It's
this is
incredible. This French Fitness stretch cage. So this also was a great deal. I didn't buy it. Ryan bought it, but I know it was an incredible, incredible deal. Again, people should just watch for deals. You can always find them. Who knew? I didn't even know I wanted one of these things until I had it. Now I'm so excited. Like the first thing I did was climb it because I just in my head. This thing is a stretching cage, but you can do all kinds of stuff. It's amazing. So
It looks like a lot of fun.
It really is.
If I tried to do that, I'd hurt myself.
Well, and aside from stretching and just using it as a jungle gym, there is one other benefit.
No, what's that?
And I'm going to get rid of it. So I'm going to cut me. Put this in. But, I've been wanting to install this rope in my garage to at least practice with it before I really install it outside. I did discover that, it's not as easy as I imagined it. This is not easy at all, but I will get there. Every day I'm going to practice this rope until I get it. Well, Ed, I really appreciate you coming by, man.
Hey, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And I'll see you in April at the Renaissance Festival.
In 2 weeks, we kick off. We're ready to go.
Can't wait.
It'll be so much fun.
Signed on board a sailing ship the very first day at sea. I seen a mermaid in the waves reaching out to me. Come live with me in the sea, said she, down on the ocean floor. I show you a million wondrous things that you've never seen before. 'Cause her hair was green with seaweed, her skin was blue.